Sergeant at Arms announces the presence in the chamber of the Honorable Mazie Hirono from Hawaii, a member of the Senate Armed Services Committee. She is escorted by retired Major General Gus Hargett, the President of the National Guard Association of the United States, and Major General Arthur J. Logan, the Adjutant General of Hawaii.
Will the Sergeant at Arms please escort our distinguished guest and her party to the platform? It's now time to present our NGAUS Montgomery Medal. It's our association's second highest honor. The NGAUS Board of Directors bestows this award for outstanding support of our association's objectives by an individual or organization. General Hansen, will you please read the citation?
Senator Hirono distinguished herself by exceptionally meritorious service as a United States Senator and Congresswoman from the state of Hawaii. Senator Hirono has dedicated over 3 decades of public service, remaining a constant and avid supporter of the Guard by supporting legislation and wide-ranging initiatives. These initiatives will continue to have direct and positive impacts for the soldiers and airmen of the National Guard for many years to come.
Senator, the podium is yours.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Aloha to all of you. It's a privilege to be here with you all. And General Ashenhurst, thank you for your introduction. And it's great to see so many people from Hawaii who I understand are sitting to my right. There you go. You've paid your dues. You're sitting here. I know all about that part. And of course, General Joe Logan, our Adjutant General of our National Guard. General Logan, mahalo nui loa for your commitment and the work that you do on behalf of the people of the state of Hawaii. It is an honor to stand alongside all of you to receive this award. And I was in the back listening to my colleague, Senator Lindsey Graham, and I know he said that he would like to find a Democrat who he can work with. There are actually a number of us that he can work with to eliminate sequester, and so I will be there talking with them about how we can do this. I have had the pleasure of working with NGAUS throughout my time in public service, and I was reminded how long that has been. Time flies. Over 30 years in elected office, and it has been a privilege. I consider and consider General Haggett, by the way, this is your last formal convention as president of NGAUS. Thank you for all that you've done for this organization and for the many times that you have been to Hawaii to work with us. So, General, you are part of our ohana. In Hawaii, we consider our extended family to be part of our ohana, and all of you are very much a part of my ohana. I'm grateful for the warmth and support that you've provided me over the years, and it's a privilege to continue working with all of you. I'm honored that you've chosen to recognize my past work, but you know what? My work with you and for you will always continue with the Montgomery Medal. I'm very grateful. But today should be about more than receiving an award. It should be a call to action and a reminder that our work is never truly complete. And as Senator Graham said, you know what? One of the first things we do need to address is the issue of sequester. By the way, I serve with Senator Graham on the Armed Services Committee, as you know, and it's always fun when he comes and starts to ask his questions in a highly, what I would call a lawyerly way, so that whoever he is grilling, I'm sure you've watched him, by the end of the series of questions that Senator Graham asks, that the person who's testifying is basically stuck. But I really enjoy, you know, these how he goes about it, and he and I have worked on a number of issues, including as he was leaving and I extended my aloha to him, he said, Eagle Vision. Those of you in Hawaii, you know what Eagle Vision is. He and I worked together to make sure that program stayed in Hawaii. So today is particularly meaningful as we prepare to celebrate the life of my friend, Congressman Mark Takai, one of you. And there will be a memorial for him at the state capitol next week. And 3 years ago, Mark stood at my side as I addressed this conference in Hawaii. Losing Mark at such a young age has been a tremendous loss to his family, to the state of Hawaii, and to the Guard community. Mark's memorial service took place in Honolulu last month, and it was very meaningful, of course, and this was at the state capitol. And as we all finished singing the song, Over the Rainbow, there was, at that moment, at that very moment, because it was a kind of a overcast day, and at that moment when the song was sung, the sun shone very, very brightly on a very large picture of Mark that was placed at the service. And his face was glowing because it really was how he viewed his service with the Guard and to the state of Hawaii. He had such a joy in what he was doing. And then later that day, a rainbow appeared over Pearl City, his hometown that he represented for decades in the state legislature. And we in Hawaii, we call those moments chicken skin moments, where you get goosebumps. You know, where there's sometimes a larger meaning and inexplicable events occur, such as that sun just breaking through the clouds and shining on his face right at that moment, and for the rainbow to be over the community that he served for so long and he loved so well. So Mark was proud to serve with you, and he continued his fight for military families throughout his time in public service. And I particularly worked closely with him when I was in the U.S. House of Representatives and he was with the Guard. He made sure that impact aid for Hawaii, as well as to all of our states, remained strong and in place. So in the 2 months since he has passed away, we've heard a lot of tributes to Mark. But the ultimate tribute to him, of course, is that we continue the work that he began in memory of Mark. Mark was so passionate. Thank you. I worked with Mark for decades when I was lieutenant governor of the state of Hawaii and he was still in the state legislature, and I used to refer to him as my younger brother, although he didn't necessarily take directions from older sister that well, but we worked really closely on so many things. He was so passionate about his service to the National Guard and his work with NGAUS. And he was really proud to have been instrumental in bringing this convention to Hawaii in 2013. Hawaii has hosted this conference more times than any other state. We're really proud of that. And as an island state, we have a special appreciation for the National Guard's mission. As the only island state, the National Guard serves as one of our most important first responders in times of need in our state. And our National Guard answered the call for the residents of Kauai back when Hurricane Iniki hit and was devastating to that island, and more recently to Hawaii Island during Tropical Storm Iselle. And you responded to outbreaks of disease and to devastating lava flows. I think only in Hawaii do we have lava flows, but that's yet another mission that the National Guard in Hawaii helps us with. And your mission extends far beyond deployments and responding to natural disasters. One of the programs that I so much support and which extends your mission is your commitment to our young people. The National Guard's Youth Challenge program has changed the lives of thousands of young people across our country. And as a strong early supporter of Hawaii's Youth Challenge program, I attended the first Youth Challenge graduation in Hawaii with the then Adjutant General Richardson in 1994. This was a very different kind of graduation. As you can imagine, those of us in office go to a lot of graduations, but this Youth Challenge graduation was particularly memorable. Listening to the graduates tell their stories and the challenges that they have faced in their lives and the overcoming of so many obstacles to join Youth Challenge and to successfully graduate, there was not a dry eye in the house. And I can tell you, General Richardson, me, all of us who were speaking that day, we were profoundly moved because we knew that this program had changed the lives of these young people who face so many challenges in their young lives and continue to face those challenges. I have attended other Youth Challenge graduations over the years, and each one is memorable because of the young people and their achievements. I know that your Youth Challenge participated in this convention. I'm sorry that I missed them, but please extend my aloha to all of your young people who are in Youth Challenge programs in so many of your states. I believe in the transformational aspects of this program, and I will continue to support it. Over the years, I've been proud to work alongside you in a number of fights important to the Guard and to the Guard families. And that's why I've been proud to lead the efforts in Congress to help Guardsmen and women who face unique challenges reintegrating into society after deployments overseas. In particular, I've worked hard to make it easier to access veterans' benefits, including, of course, healthcare benefits, and to make it easier for returning service members to attend and pay for college. It's clear we have a lot more work ahead of us, particularly in the fight to improve healthcare for our veterans. And throughout this fight, I've thought about Guard members like Elisa Smithers from Kapolei, which is a community in Hawaii, who shared her story as part of a Senate Veterans Affairs field hearing that I held in Hawaii 2 years ago. Elisa was deployed to Iraq from 2004 to 2006, where she was attached to Hawaii's famed 100th and 442nd Infantry Battalion. Elisa returned from deployment with physical injuries and PTSD, but her battle for care was only just beginning. Elisa received care for her physical injuries, but no one at the VA at that time followed up with her about her PTSD. And she did everything right. She reported her injuries, she called the hotlines, she waited at the Hawaii VA for hours, but unfortunately and sadly, she didn't receive the support and the treatment that she deserved and earned. Elisa suffered for months more, sleeping in her closet and even lashing out against her daughter because she thought she was back in combat being attacked. She knew something needed to change and paid for appointments out of her own pocket with a civilian psychologist. And by chance, months later, at a yellow ribbon ceremony, Elisa ran into someone from the Oahu Vet Center who agreed to see her the very next day. And Elisa said, "The visits to a civilian psychologist and the vet center saved my life. I am truly convinced that I would have committed suicide or hurt my children if I did not seek help on my own." We failed Elisa and others like her for far too long. And while there have been improvements to the system, I will continue to fight every single day to make sure that all of our veterans receive the timely, compassionate care and treatment that you have all earned. "15 years ago today, September 11th, 2001, on a morning very much like this one, our world changed. Our nation looked to brave people, including so many of you, to confront the new challenges that attack presented. And yes, our world is, I would say, even more dangerous. I also serve on the Intelligence Committee, so I learn a lot about the dangers facing our country, from a resurgent Russia to North Korean provocations, China's activities in the South China Seas, cyber attacks, to more devastating natural disasters. The National Guard, you, will continue to be at the forefront to keep all of us safe. And I will continue to work side by side with you, my Ohana, to make sure the Guard has the support and resources you need to be, join me, always ready, always there. Mahalo nui loa to each and every one of you and your families for your outstanding service to our country and to our states. Aloha.
Senator Hirono, thank you very much for taking time for us today and traveling this distance to receive this award. Thank you so much. Would the Sergeant at Arms please escort our distinguished guest and her party from the platform? Okay. Am I going? Aloha. Yeah, soon.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Thank you.